Tonight we're going to open up the rest of the 2014 Universal Treasures baseball box. Last 8 packs. I've been sorting through what's come out of the box so far. Decent stars, and then that big 67 Frank Robinson, the nice 72 Perez. So some good stuff. So I've been sleeving those and sorting them all. But first, before we start going back to the 500 giveaway, we have one person who we're waiting on your pick. I'll give you another day and a half. 11th place, just so you don't hold up 12th, 13th, and 14th. So if JB Yanks 1 can contact me, email me with your pick of prize. Let's see what's left. We have the 87 Topps wax pack, the 90 Fleer baseball traded set, the 24 count of 2005 Bowman Chrome cards, and the 73 Eugene Upshaw are what's left. So please pick one of those. And then we have 3 people who won consolation prizes, Maiden 86, Mike Connors, and Peter B. I need you also to email me your address, also JB Yanks, along with your pick. If you can email me your address, I still need to mail out your consolation prizes. And again, my email is phil5939@yahoo.com. So please, again, these 4 people, send me your mailing address so I can get your stuff sent out, and also JB Yanks your pick of prize. And I got most everything mailed out end of last week for prize winners. Just the last few items to get out for everybody who's gotten me their addresses. And thank you again. And then let's dive into this. Let's hope for another nice big hit or nice rookie. Getting a lot of these 81 leaders cards, but that's okay. I like them. So far we got the home run leaders, RBI leaders, and now we got the batting leaders. I believe this has Brett. Yep. So batting leaders with Brett. Got 1980 Topps Mike Paxton. We got another 80 top. That's what I got the most out of the box so far. All of these, unfortunately, all commons from 80. But 1980 Topps. Woody Fryman. 1979 Topps. Off center, but sharp shape. Ed Kranepool from 1976 Topps. Again, nice shape, sharp shape, but a little off center. A 75 of Rich Hebner. That is in super sharp shape. Look at that. Just off center again towards the top, but man, that is a sharp card. We have the, seems to come out of all these Universal Treasures boxes, even the modern ones, the newer ones. The 82 Steve Sax rookie, 82 Topps. And we have a Bill Short. Crazy sharp. 1969 Topps. He's got a very worried look. The old knitted eyebrows look. But this is, look how nice shape that is. Cool. That's really neat. All right. See if we have a bigger card in here would be a good sign, because like I said in the last video, bigger card means a 56 or older, which would be really neat. But I don't think there is. Nope. All right. We'll just put those on Mr. Short. 81 Topps, UL Washington. I mean, these are nice and sharp. That's really cool. Jim Spencer, 1980 Topps. That white in the background is hiding the sharpness of it. A Tommy Boggs, 79 Topps. Carl Morton, 75 Topps. Not as sharp as the other 75, but still pretty nice. That was that, yeah, that Hebner. A 77, way miscut. Fred Kendall, unfortunately. 77. An 82 Tom Seaver. It's funny, I think I gave one of these away in the giveaway. And pretty cool 72 Topps. That feels thick. Rico Petrocelli. A couple of dinged upper corners, but still nice card. This might be an upgrade to my 72 set. Speaking of 72s, coming up, I'll announce further exact details, but I'm going to be doing a box war against a couple other channels with these sportscard.com boxes, the 72 box. So that should be fun. One of the other channels is going to, I'll refer you over when they announce details and everything of it and how we're going to do the box war. Lots of the 81s and 80s and 79s coming out of these. 81 Topps, Ed Farmer. 80 Topps, Mark Wagner. Another 79, Doug Rauch. Steve Bry. 76 Topps. Oh, that's neat. 3 Hall of Famers on there. Victory leaders. That's a really neat card. I'm happy with that. Look at that. You have Catfish Hunter, Fergie Jenkins, Phil Niekro. And it's kind of weird. Andy Messersmith's name is faded off. But that is super sharp. Look at the centering on that and everything. Maybe the slightest up and a little bit of wear across the top, but that is a really nice card. And an 82 Eddie Murray. Super sharp, just off center down. And a 69 Norm Miller. Not as sharp as their other 69, but a couple of 60s cards. You can't go wrong with that. We're doing the same sequencing here. We got an 81 and then an 80 underneath it. Ken Oberkfell. Can't complain though. These are crazy sharp, just off center. Gene Richards. 1980 Topps. And we got a 78 instead of a 79 in this pack. Of Roy Howell. Super sharp, just off center. A Ray Bear. That is sharp. That'll definitely be an upgrade to one of my 77 sets. 77 Topps. A 74 George Mitterwald. And we got another Hall of Fame hit, but it seems unfortunately the base card Hall of Fame hits have all been like, I mean, other than the Robinson, most of them have been like 82, 83 tops. But still a nice Murray. And here's a 64. Oh, that is beautiful. 64 tops, Andre Rogers. Wow. Just a little issue down here. Wow. That's a nice card. You know what? Well, I'll do it after the video in case you get bored and don't want to tune in. I did this like 40 videos ago. I want to show again. It makes me so nervous when people just sleeve cards, just shoving it right in the sleeve without protective guide cards, as I call them. So I'll demo that because that's what I'm doing. I mean, it takes a lot longer to sleeve cards doing it, but I always like to just be extra careful, especially with valuable cards. So I'll show you an example again of what I do. Champ Summers. Gosh, that's sharp. 81 tops. 80 tops, Manny Sarmiento. 79 of Del Alston. Again, super sharp. Just a little off center. Another 75 of Jerry Grote. That is beautiful. Look at this. God, that's nice coloring. Look at that. A 76 of Felix Milan. A little off center. A Hall of Famer, but an 83. A very angry Fisk. As a kid, when I used to get this card, I'd be like, man, he looks scary angry. So 83 tops Fisk and a 69 of Dave Gusty. That's neat. All right, just a few packs to go. Move these guys. 81 tops, Danny Darwin. So it looks like our Hall of Famer is always the second to last. And then the vintage card, or super vintage, old. Oops, this one went sideways there. So that was Danny Darwin, 81, 1980, Bob McClure, sharp shape, 78 of an off-center Barry Foote, a 77 Larry Cox, a 74 of John Grubb, ooh, a Washington variation. I have very few of these. Did I pull another? See the San Diego. Look at that. Look at that in the same box. That is cool. Earlier in the box, either last video or first video, we pulled the John Grubb of the San Diego version. I have very few of these. That is neat. So I guess San Diego was supposed to move to Washington, so in a later print run, I don't know the full story, instead of San Diego on the card, they put Washington, or vice versa. They were supposed to move, so they put them all Washington, but pulled that when San Diego stayed in San Diego. I know the Washington version is the slightly more rare, but you can see everything. Everything's the same on the back. Wow, that is neat. Both versions. I mean, it's just a common, but that's really neat. And he's not a Hall of Famer, Fred Lynn, but it's our star card. 80 Fred Lynn. And a 64 Bobby Wine. Another beautiful 64. All right, 2 to go. Hope you're enjoying the video. I'm really enjoying these older cards, even though we're not pulling anything big time since Frank Robinson. These are still neat, really good condition old cards, and some nice early 80s stars. So it's it's a fun rip. Just bummed you can't get these boxes anymore, the 2014s. 81 Topps, Alex Trevino. 1980 Gorman Thomas, which we already got in this box, so we're getting some duplicates. Isn't that scary that I remember that we already got one? I'm just looking through my stack that I sorted in the 80s, the 1980 stack. Yeah, that is pretty scary that I'm remembering all this. See, we got Gorman Thomas earlier in the box. So I have these sorted by year because now I have an excuse to pull my older sets out of the safes and upgrade them, or see if they can be upgraded with any of these. So I love pulling them out, looking through. 79 Topps, Dave Roberts. A 77 Bill Laxton. That is sharp. That's a definite upgrade to one of my sets. Look at that. That one's centered up. Maybe just a hair off, if at all. Wow, that's cool. A 74 of another Washington variation. Look, of Randy Jones. Wow. This is, I mean, it's not like a huge value or anything, but just a cool card. I mean, out of all the stuff I have, I have maybe a couple of Washington variations in my whole collection. That is sharp. That is neat. A nice 77 Topps 1976 batting leaders with George Brett and Bill Madlock. That's a nice hit. I like any older Brett card. That's neat. This is fun. And a 72 Gary Gestat. A little rough. Corner wear. But gee, the colors on this are crazy sharp. Nice. All right, well, here it is, last pack of this box. All right. Aurelio Rodriguez, 81 Topps. A 1980 Topps of Cliff Johnson. A 77 of Ralph Garr. Little rough shape. So here's one of those players that I always wonder what happened. I had never heard of him. And then I was looking on the back of, card, probably one of like similar year here, 77 or 78, and looking at his stats. Look how many hits he had with the Braves in 71, 72, 73, 74, and then he dropped off. So you wonder if that was injury or something, but I mean, and he had look at his career average, 315. I know he had a lot of stolen bases, a lot of triples. This is one of those where it's like, what happened to him? I mean, he was a pretty big star based on his stats. 79 Topps, Dyer Miller. A 72 of Aurelio Rodriguez. That one's sharp. And last couple of cards, we have a 1980 Dave Parker. I love this card. It's just so colorful. Look at that with with the yellow and the black, and then the black up there looks really neat. And our last card is with Pete Rose on it. That's cool. With George Foster. That's neat. 1973 Topps. playoff card where they beat the Pirates 3-2. Wow. I don't think I have this in my set, but I don't think I really ever paid attention to it. That is neat. So that was a fun break. Thank you for watching, everybody. As promised, I was going to show you what I do for sleeving. So I'm not going to, take a super nice card. And so I have my guide cards. Actually, I'll use a guide card as my example here of where. So when you sleeve up cards, I mean, the newer stuff that's plastic, basically, early 90s, 1992, 93, and newer, you're not going to damage it as much because it's plastic. But so when you just sleeve a card, I mean, maybe I'm just too anal. That corner's already dinged, so let's find. So like with this Rick Burleson, so if you are just kind of free sleeving it, you hear how it's hitting the plastic, and like if you're having trouble getting in there and you catch that plastic, look what you're doing to the corner. It's catching the plastic. Like if you don't get it in clean, or then you try to get this corner in and it's just not going in well. Again, maybe I'm being too anal, but when somebody hits a big card like on video and then they just whoosh, toss it in the plastic, it's like I'm worried they're going to damage it. So what I do, and I've showed this example, like I said, a bunch of videos ago, but I only had 50 subscribers back then. So I have my 2 guide cards. So I put my guide cards in, and then I lean them this way. So they have opened the plastic. So now you put in, let's say this is, a mint Rickey Henderson rookie or something, and you bring it like this. So you're getting the corner inside the plastic without hitting the plastic. So you bring that corner like that. So now the corner's in here. And then you swivel it and then drop it in. So now you have these cards pushed left, so it's coming in with this corner safely protected between the 2 cards. Coming in, no contact with that edge right there. And then I pull the back card. Do I pull the back or the front first? The back card first, so I don't get a fingerprint on it. Then I'm holding both cards, and then I slide that. And see, now it's in without having hit your corners. So it's just a method I use, and you don't have to use it with all of them, but I mean, if you have a 3 or 4 figure card that you just pulled raw, again, put your guide cards in. These are just, beat up. You can see they took a beat. They've been rubbing on each other for a long time as being my guide cards. Just, a couple of low value cards. So you have them pushed left. Okay. And so I'll show you what's happening inside. So what you're doing is when you're putting it between the cards, now this corner is below the plastic safely in, and then you start to rotate it, and then now when you come down, the left corner, lower left corner, is protected in between this left edge of these 2 cards because they're pushed that way, but there's room for the right corner to come there, and then you slide it down. So we'll do it. So we're bringing it in. So those are pushed left, and then now we're bringing this card now there. Now that corner's protected. This one's below the plastic. Just rotate it. Slide it down, pull your back card, pull your front card so you don't get fingerprints on it. That's how I sleeve my cards. Yeah, it takes probably 10 times longer to do each card, but it's just a little pointer for you guys to, keep your cards safe. Next video, we're going to do that 2005 Bowman Draft Picks and Prospects box. And thank you again, and just a reminder, those of you who need to get me your address for the giveaway, I really want to get you your stuff. And thanks again to everybody. Have a good night.